What sort of treachery is this? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pauperganda on Saturday. Shirazaman, thank you for joining me, as always, my friend. Today is our Timewarp Stompy show. I just felt a little, it's been a good deck, and I wanted to kind of just go back in time and check out one of the old lists that first started making me write articles and such. And, it's very, I would just say, it can still win pretty fast, but it's definitely been upgraded, obviously, with new cards and such like that. So back in the day, I ran 17 lands. This is this is pretty much this won a challenge similar to the big Pauper challenges on Sundays. It was about 9 or 10 rounds back then. Pretty hardcore, and this was like the first time I broke through, and so I wrote an article about it and blah blah blah. Anyway, so we got 17 lands. One thing I was noticing with this deck when I played it a lot competitively, I'd get flooded a lot, and so I put in Mongrels, I put in Basking Rootwallas, and I put in Bonesplitters, and I put in one Rogue Elephant, aptly named. Thank you for that, Shirazaman. That's the article if anybody wants to trip down memory lane. There's some it's frustrating because I went, just like with Pauperganda, I went all out and made all these cool Photoshop files, and it was kind of interactive, and all my analogies had artwork to them. And so for about 5 years, it was fine. And then over the time, whatever image hosting network I used or whatever started like deleting files, and it was just gone. And even YouTube, like all the videos had playbacks and stuff. And now it's just an article. It's just kind of a boring wall of text, but the genesis is there anyway. So anyway, let me go over this real quick. We've got 4 Rootwallas, 4 Gather Courage, 4 Groundswell, 4 Nettle Sentinels, 4 Quirions, 4 Pit-Skulks, seeing a theme here, 3 Vastwood, 3 Mongrels, 4 Silhana, 2 Shinen of Life's Roar. Great card. Played 2 practice games yesterday. Meant the difference in each. Made me think, hey, maybe people need to start playing this again. 1 Rogue Elephant, 4 Rancors, and 2 Bonesplitters. This notoriously tended to get a little flooded back in the day. I remember looking over some of my old notes, and that's why things like Wild Mongrel, because you can pitch a forest to go turn it colors and such. Speaking of turning colors, in our sideboard, this was a totally different metagame back then. We had Grape Shot Storm. We had all kinds of Temporal Fissure decks. I mean, this was like, I think, 2010. It was like 9 years ago. But what was cool is there were a lot of goblins around. And so you could put this on a Wild Mongrel, and it was indestructible. And then the second you could discard a forest, make it white, flying. If they targeted it with anything, you discard another thing, and now it's indestructible again. So 2011-ish. Yeah, good. All right, close enough. So that's why that's there. I mean, obviously, Elephant Guide's a lot better card here, and it's moved to the main deck and such, but curve's nice and low, so we'll see. Thermokarst came in. There wasn't so much Tron back then, but there was a lot of coming to play tapped. What were they called? The invasion lands, where you sacrifice them and give you 2. So I ran all 4 of those. 1 more Shinen. Remember this old goodie, Sandstorm? We're leaving everything as is. 3 Hidden Spiders and 3 Fogs. It's funny, Hidden Spiders come full circle back around, at least when Jeskai was around, and now it's gone. So Ken Waku in the house. All right, we'll keep it down for you, my friend. Yeah, just get a spreadsheet out and get ready to. I had to be able to roll to something that looks a little more official, right? I guess I could put this in the text display and such. But so without further ado, we're just going to see how this does in the current metagame. and go from there. So we got the old Stompy list here. We'll create and hopefully, oops, that doesn't happen, but it did. And I got a lot of new stuff coming. You saw the top of the show, quick little interstitial graphics I've got created. And I almost have Gigadrows ready. Obviously, if you saw Facebook's little teaser, it's a sleeping ad based on like a Vicks NyQuil sort of thing. But it was just perfect for Gigadrows. And I was looking at it more and more and got a new VO artist and our Sir Ramsey's Toothmaker Chatsuk, one of our fans in the chat sometimes. So he read a nice, very, what would the word be? I'm thinking dulcet, but I can't remember the definition of that. It's very toned down, sleepy time, you know, a little Mr. Rogers almost angle. And so that'll be out soon. And then we've got like 3 more in the can, but I just fine tuning stuff. So as time goes on, pretty soon we'll get to like 30 new commercials. Maybe we'll have a show where it's just all that. So, oh yeah, Sandstorm and Empty the Warrens and Tribe, stuff like that. But so she's in the house. All right, well, let me at least be looking at the deck here instead of this gross wall here. So yeah, it was always baffling to me. I was pretty new to competitive Magic back then. Not really. I don't know. I was in it like 3 years or so, and these were the big tournaments. And this was, I had already done a lot with White Weenie and such, but this was like in the day around, it was only around 2011 that Stompy was considered unplayable. Like, I kid you not, 2010, I used to have versions of this. The article talks about that, where people would be like, you can't play mono green, you know, it's you know, unwinnable and blah, blah, blah. And so curve kept getting lower, and as we see, you know, it kept getting better. And you know what's funny is cards like Elephant's Guide and I believe was mutagenic, no, not mutagenic, Hunger of the Howl Pack. I forgot, I think that came out right after this, but anyway, that's quite a wait for this. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. We got a perfect land ratio here. Immediately I wanted to take out Rogue Elephant. I forget what I had it in there for, but I wanted to play the true list that I had it back then. Why? Well, it's a neat theme for a show. We're always looking for new ideas. And the other reason, you never know when it'll kind of show up and show you something like, oh, wow, hey, that's kind of relevant in this metagame. So obviously not against Lightning Bolt and such. Well, this will be fast. We got a burn on the agenda. Let's rock here. Something's going to die. Well, we'll bring this out, at least feigning some sort of removal. Good news with Shinen of Life's Roar, we might be able to take out a Thermal Alchemist as long as it's got Summoning Sickness. Got to be real careful if you, same with Provoke, you want to be careful if they have any tap abilities. You can give them a free ping on your face if you roll that route. So, oh, and before I forget, there's a cool Twitch show on Amazon Prime for anybody that has it. Just came out. I think it's 2019, and it's pretty impressed. Well, somebody's got a needle drop, don't they? Well, I want to get rid of 2 potential damage every turn. It's okay if I lose my Sentinel over it. Okay, well, that was very uneventful. Hopefully they don't run away. Let's see. I kind of like this and this in this matchup. Indestructible is always good. We'll bring these in. Ledgewalker, I'd probably lose one of those. I really like Gather Courage. This came up a lot yesterday. There's so much stuff that does 3 damage, and we have a lot of bears. I almost think this could have a place in the latest Stompy too, but I'll take out one of these, and definitely my Rogue Elephant, see what I can upgrade there. I'm probably going to be taking out Rogue Elephant in almost every match, unless we go up against like Tron or something. It's just one of those. Sure, I'll bring back in Ledgewalker. Let's go. Hopefully that we have a little bit more action than that. That was pretty subpar. Maybe they just were waiting for that second land and it never came. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing tomorrow. If you support me on Buy Me a Coffee website, there's a list and it's like 99.9999% there. I might change one card and it'll probably be like a sideboard swap into the main deck. But I think I'm going to play. I've actually had a lot of downtime at work and been able to play quite a bit. So still working a lot, but it's just kind of the last couple of weeks have just been a hurry up and wait festival. So I know it sounds good to a lot of you out there that are probably nose to the grindstone or whatever that phrase is, but for me it's like sometimes the worst thing is just sitting around kind of doing nothing. So in this scenario, if we look closely, Nettle Sentinel is pretty safe. If we want to use the Gather Courage on it, it's a free spell. And like if this Rift Bolt hits it, or I don't know if it's worth saving it, but especially against like a Searing Blaze, pretty cool. We're playing old school Stompy. This is from like 2010, 2011. Just our little Timewarp show to see if there's any gems in the old list that might deserve coming to the forefront. We'll see. Yeah, our opponent got stuck at one land and saw the writing on the wall, I guess. So here's another scenario. We would normally lose this creature, and I think we'll just do this and stop it from going down. We'll go like this. We'll say this, tap this, pay this, say yes to this, and we got a 4/4. Stops him. We're good to times. Here we go. All right. Got 1, 2. Yeah, I'll just do that. Let's attack here. We'll get in our Pit-Skulk there. Start being the beat down. Always a tough decision with Shinen Life's Roar. I'm really tempted to play that over the Pit-Skulk, just in case he's got a Thermal Alchemist. Because we don't have haste, and it's kind of a... Yeah, I'm going to actually play it safe and just play this. If he's got Thermal Alchemist, we might not be able to push through much damage. But this way, if we've got any sort of boost, we're able to kill whatever he plays. Can't wait for it to get non-summoning sickness. Thank you for that, Shiraz. I was really shocked. I thought 10,000 views was a lot. When it was a couple years ago, was the last time I looked, and it was at like 30. I was like, who's reading this? This show might help a little bit, but we'll see. All right, so we got a little bit of a conundrum here. I mean, I want to get rid of that for sure. It'd be nice to hit him with Groundswell in the face, but we're just going to go like this. Attack. He's got a block. There's no tricky provoke. They just have to block. If he's got 20 creatures, they've got to block this. The channel ability will happen about 1 in 20 games. So we see our opponent trying to go of the illegal persuasion. We'll do this. Like, sometimes you've got to be careful. These cards get so close together. You can Groundswell there, dude. And we are killing the Alchemist. It'd be nice if we had done 5 to him, but hey, we still got some damage in there. We'll rock like this. And then we'll rock here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next turn. Got him in 2 swings. Not so bad. Keeping stuff off the board. He's got another Alchemist. Too bad. My spidey senses were tingling, and they were correct. Alchemist against Stompy. This used to be a 50-50 matchup. I'm sure Burns got the edge over this list now, but having an early Shinen's out is pretty nice. So I'm going to have to remember if this goes to game 3 to bring in the other one. Okay, here we are. All right, well, let's attack with everything. He has to block the 1. I'm tempted to just attack with Rootwalla and leave Shinen back so in case that he blocks, but who the hell would do that, right? So we're attacking here. We're at 16. They got a block. We'll do the boost. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coming through. Bam. Okay, we'll drop Quirion here. Untap our dude. Tap another dude. And bring back our land and play the other Sentinel. Keep the pressure on, baby. Woo! Ric Flair style. Yeah, I was really hoping to get that Giga Draws commercial out to you guys, but that production just kind of ran a little behind. So, and I didn't want to rush something out this morning. I was actually editing this morning, and I was like, I've only got an hour. I still have to do just about everything. So, ouch, that hurts. Ugh. But if he doesn't have any ammo, we can at least kill there, but that kind of blows, right? So at this scenario, if he trips this, let's see what he's got. He's got a one-side Wrath. This is cool for the show because he's got options here. So, all right, I'm going to do this and return this in case I draw a Wild Mongrel. I want it to be able to live through some sort of shock damage at least. All of our dudes are dead. Now we want a Rogue Elephant, right? And away we go. Great. Okay. I'm just going to hold on to those in case we get Groundswell too. There's always that. Ooh, starting to think that gingerbread cookie needs to go into my old green one list from, which was Stompy. If you look at our graveyard, everything does cost 1, and it was based on that same theory, but just went even further. It was, I think the only thing that didn't cost 1, thus the name green one, was Silhana Ledgewalker, and I think I only ran 3 of those. Speak of the devil, there she is. Well, I'm going to kind of go all out here. If these got electricity, cool. If not, I'm just going to try to win it here. I'm sure we would have seen it unless they F6 themselves just then on the Rancor play. Let's keep this nice and low. Gosh, we're going to be at like 7. Boink. Here we go. At least. Come on, lightning bolt. I'm very proud of my lightning bolts. I've got the very old school, like Masters Edition. Just says 3 damage. I had so many other ones. Sold them because I mean online. How many do you need really? Gave a few away. If you follow me on Facebook every once in a while, I'll have some sort of loot sale where I'm just like, any new players out there that need these cards, come trade me. So I give a lot of stuff away because, you know, at the end of the day, I like the same artwork and a lot of my decks, and so if I've got one I don't like, I just put it in my trade thing, and instead of making 4 cents from some robot, I'd rather give it to some new player that would be charged like 50 cents and get them into the format sort of thing. So, Nim Chimsky's in the house. All right. Always starts at 9 a.m., my friend, Pacific Standard Time, whatever that is to you. So yeah, we're still game 1 here. Had a rage quit round, or game 1. This is game 2, down to the wire. Got to make sure we, don't think we're winning this one. Here we go, here we go. Yeah, I actually played a lot this week. No leagues, still no leagues. It's just been, so I don't know, I might be completely head in the clouds. You know how that is with anybody. You know, you play tournament practice rooms too much and you're like, wow, man, I'm like 20-1 or something. And you go to like a challenge or a league and you're just 3-2 or whatever. So it can happen. All right, I'm going to bring in Shinen the Last Roar. If you're just joining us, like Nim Chimsky, we're playing my deck from like 2010, 2011. This one of the like 10-round challenges, I think it was way back when Gut Shot and all this stuff was around. Why am I doing that? Well, it's just neat to kind of go back in time and just see if stuff still holds up, if it's relevant, that sort of thing. So I'm actually going to get rid of a Ledgewalker. Let's do this. So we're playing cards like Gather Courage, Groundswell over like superior cards, really. I mean, things have come a long way, but there might be a little mix of a little bit of this, a little bit of that ends up being needed. So hard not to keep this. I mean, we could sneak in with a Rootwalla, turn on Pit-Skulk, and then if we draw any lands, we're going to have them dead to rights permanently with these triple combinations. So I'll keep this. A lot of 1-land keeps. So she's in the house. There you go. Yeah, we'll have old school on old school. But yeah, I just felt like, you know, looking a little historically at stuff. I guess we have Bonesplitter, so that's kind of a historic spell. But I mean, as far as the reference to the metagame goes, and it wasn't that long ago. I know a lot of people are like, what, 10 years? That's a ton. But it's about a decade ago. This list was one of the lists, but it was just neat because it was one of the breakout lists where I quickly started understanding like the hive mind didn't know everything. It was everybody was telling me how unplayable mono green was, and I think G. Weiss and a player, Clog, I think his name was, online. I haven't seen him in years, but they probably went off and did other things instead of my silliness of staying with the format, but I just love it too much. But anyway, they one had an evasive build, one had kind of an over-the-top build, and 3 of us went back and forth quite a bit, as much as you could back then, mostly in MTGO chat, and just kind of found a lot of success with the list. And I think a lot of it, and it's still, Stompy still suffers from that, right? Where you, I think there was an article by Brian DeMars, if I'm not mistaken, where for Channel Fireball, where he was talking about the breakdown and how everybody was like, oh yeah, Stompy's a good matchup, and it was like, and he got every one of those matchups that said that, and it's just one of those lists. I don't think it gets disrespected as much as Burn, but and Burn's come around. I mean, people have understood that it's not just throw 3 at the face every turn. There's a cadence to the moves, and I know I've screwed that up. And my brother of undefeated fame, Semikoff, of course. Well, that's a strange play. He must think we have another land. I don't have another one on the deck. Ha ha ha. Okay. What's cool about these 2/2s, though, is when we do have Gather Courage, it gets rid of every bit of removal outside of Flame Slash or Fire Blast. So let's attack. I guess we're just going to be in the Pit-Skulk camp here. I'd really like to get another land, but I'm not going to invest until the last possible moment. Let's attack here. Get out another 2/2. I'd really like to get a not Groundswell, but a Gather Courage. Has a Convoke for green. Turn it into a 4/4 at instant speed as long as you got an untapped green dude. Pretty awesome. Excuse the cough. That went down wrong. See, it would save it here. All right. And I'm really surprised. I haven't looked too much into the attorney scene as far as the challenges go and stuff, but there haven't been any iterations on Jeskai since the banning. That's pretty strange to me. I'm going to kind of go all in here. Not going to win this race unless we draw another land. And we're one bolt away from being just offensiveless. And if you're a football fan, my Niners finally lost, so that sucks. But there's a little ray of hope. My favorite quarterback of all time, Colin Kaepernick, is getting a chance in about another 3 hours. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. Definitely a little fishy if you're not. They've kind of blackballed him out of the league, and the way they've invited him back, it was like all these exceptions to the rule, and maybe you can play, maybe you can't, and trying to hoodwink him into a weird schedule on a day before the big, and when everybody's gone, and hoping he doesn't show up, and making it across the country, and he's showing up. So I've always rooted for that guy. All right. Hey, there we go. We've got stuff. Do we have enough stuff to do stuff? We've got him on a 2-turn clock. Yeah, I've really got to keep offense up here. Mongrel's nice, but I really like the inevitability of that Ledgewalker. However, if he's hoarding any sort of trick, Wild Mongrel can survive when Ledgewalker can't, in the form of a Martyr of Ash. What I don't want to do is trip Vastwood till next turn, so I'm going to come in for 4, unless he forces my hand. Hoodwinks when you kind of trick somebody. It's a little double cross. That's got a more of an official meaning, but that's off the top of my head. Well, snake oil salesman always hoodwinking people, like all those old English words. I'm sure the two words, though, they go right together. I wonder what the origin of hoodwink is. Maybe somebody can find that out. Like, it's always interesting. There you go, Soshi. You got it. Alrighty. And we'll just do an honest 4 here. Got evasion and unblockability. 1 martyr. Both our guys are dead. So I'm going to opt for the Mongrel here. Mongrel beats. This is a race after all. Okay, we're at 8. 7. Boy, 1 fire blast and a bolt away. If I was gambling, I'd bet on them, unless they're holding a bunch of lands. Yet again, I don't know where Little Fight's at. This is like the 3rd week of our new time. I don't know. Yikes. We're dead to fire blast here because of the upkeep of Curse. There's a artifact that does a razor or something. It's a razor wire or something, and you have to pay 1 or something. But I was thinking it'd be cool to make like a pure tap deck. Okay, yeah, he's got Fire Blast. Right? I mean, he almost has to. I'll feign some respect here, I guess. Let's see. I mean, if he has Fire Blast, he'd be pointing it at our face. We'll change colors, make things nice and pretty. We surely don't need Shinen of Life's Roar. Discard this. I say this about every 3 years, If Wild Mongrel was printed yesterday, there'd be like 10 articles on the web about it, and it would be in so many lists. Fits right into Stompy now. I mean, it's all about the 2/2s. Obviously, there's the regeneration in the River Boa. The Island Walk is a gigantic plus. But in just a pure don't know what you're going to face metagame, or if you happen to not have any control players, might even prove to be superior. Oh, you said it, Nimchimsky. There's so much of my vocabulary is based on magic, or I'm able to deduce what a word means because I can visualize the card. My wife or kids will be like, wow, your vocabulary is really good. And I'm like, well, it's just because I play too much magic, really. That's cool. They've really tied that knot between education and mysticism, making people pretty into it. I think, is there any big MTG event going on here? Because pretty quiet in the chat. I think it's only the 1, 2, 3 of you, right? Yeah. Chimsky, Soshi, Shiraz. Maybe we'll have to change our date to another time. Who knows? Well, we've got this coming through. Let's do that. Is he holding that fire blast for a little like gotcha moment? 17 people. Well, if you're watching, please chime in. It's always neat to get a little interaction from y'all. Where are you live, says Skalinsky. I am in the United States, California to be exact. Let's do this. Discard this. Go from here. Cast it. And we'll call this, let's say black. Feeling a little evil. That's 7. All right. Let's rock here. Hey, all right. Just got there. Missed the fire blast. We shall see. Hi. Let's do this and hope for the best. There's nothing big on SCG in the MPL Weekly. All right. Yeah, I looked into, I know we talked last week, we meaning all of us, about Pioneer format. And yeah, I had a little bit of downtime, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll look up like what the typical lists are, because I know every other week something's getting banned from that format. And I'm not gonna lie, I hate planeswalkers. I don't like the mechanics. It just doesn't feel like, it feels like somebody hoodwinked Magic for a weekend and made this new thing. And it's just try teaching a new player. It's a hard enough game to understand to a new player, but when you factor in the planeswalker, it's clunky. I know they're incredibly powerful and stuff, but I took one look at the list, and 99% of them, 4 of this planeswalker, 4 of this planeswalker, 4 of this, and I was just like, eh. So if I ever did get into it, I'd probably try to make a planeswalker-less build, but that's a story for another era. Okay, we've got a pretty good hand here. We'll keep this. 1 land's all you need with 4 Quirions, which is why I like running 4. I know a lot of the newer lists run 2 or 3. I've always liked 4. We'll run out this, try to play aggro. We are going first after all. We are Stompy after all. The original Stompy, for whatever that's worth. Definitely inferior. My life was on the line. I would for sure play the latest and greatest. But like I said, this is a neat little experiment in time. Woohoo! Boy, oh boy. I'm tempted to do that instead of those. Let's do that. Just for the sake of the show, I'm going to attack here. I could drop double Pit-Skulk, but what I'm going to do instead is drop this. These are just so fun. Shinen of Life's Roar. Love this card. Simplify the attack phase. What's OKO? Soshi? Not quite sure. Delver, not a card you see all that much anymore. And you're not going to see it next turn either, because if Shinen of Life's Roar has anything to say about it. Oh, I get it. Yeah. I don't know the card offhand. Can you bring it up? That'd be kind of cool. I got an Island Preordain here, and this is going to get all big and fat. Let's see. Legendary Planeswalker. Create a food token. Artifact loses all abilities and becomes an elk creature. Okay. Wow. Exchange City, huh? Well, now we need some boost. Otherwise, that's pretty hard. My deck on Sunday uses a mantle. I can fetch it with Trinket, though. Boost! No boost. All right. Well, it's kind of dead here anyway, so I'm just going to attack and sacrifice my Shinen of Life's Roar. So even in this scenario, we lose a creature, but we're able to still get in and turn on 2 Pit-Sulks, which is pretty awesome. You must block. There's no decision to be made here. Unfortunately, we're going to lose it. That's all right, because we got 2 of these dudes. Bring this guy back. Bring this dude back. And bring him up. I always like to keep my hand 2, 3 at most lands out. In case I have Wild Mongrel. It's always nice to be able to just alpha strike with him. Outside of maybe a whiteout trick, right? Go with some snow-covered forest. That'd be pretty cool. Call the MTG police. Illegal blocking. It's nice, though, doing this, for me anyway, doing this earlier in the morning. It's 9 a.m. here. By, 11, 11:30, I'm usually done. Wife and I are going to go see the new Ford Ferrari movie. I got a brother that's quite a gearhead, so he's really into that. Spiketail Hatch. I was just thinking of making a disruptive student Spiketail Hatchling in the Drake deck where you just talk about hoodwink, you return the lands, you boomerang them, and then all of a sudden your stuff has some pretty good staying power. Now, we have to pay attention also to the channel ability here. You can discard it to make all creatures able to block something do so, but we're a turn away from that. Let me drop this. Sacrifice it unless I pay 1. I just want to keep that in my hand. We're going to leave these out, and we'll attack next turn with... Yeah, kind of can't really... He's going to pop the Spiketail, maybe with... what would you run if you had Spiketail and a Dimir build? Probably... what is that? -13. Tragic Slip. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking might happen here. Going to keep us honest with our mana here, because that Spiketail with the Vines of Vastwood, we're going to have to definitely play the next one and keep that in mind. And it's white border too. Ugh. Yeah, somebody's got Tragic Slip the way he's tapping. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Now, what's neat about this is I can untap the Spiketail with Quirion Ranger and force it to block the Shinen of Life's Roar after Vines goes through. Galerium, all right. Yeah. So if you are just joining us, Shinen of Life's Roar will die unless we draw a Groundswell. That's the wrong creature, sir. I'm going to let that go. For obvious reasons of nothing in your yard. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, we're playing a Timewarp Stompy list from 2010, 2011-ish. Seeing how it does in this metagame. Oh, all right. A little bit of a rage mistake there. All right. So in this old school build, we've got Shield of the Oversoul, which is awesome on Wild Mongrel. If you're not new to that, or no, if you're new to it, we discard it, make it white, make it fly. If they do anything, we discard again, make it green, indestructible. Pretty cool. We got a 2-color deck. Not quite sure if Thermokarst is worth it or not. We did see quite a few you-know-whos. I'm going to bring in 3 Hidden Spiders here. I like Shinen where it's at. I'm going to cut 1 Ledgewalker, though. 1 Rootwalla, and definitely our Rogue Elephant, aptly named because there is only 1 of them. But I'm anticipating... seeing a Ghastly Demise and Dimir and like Agony Warp. Like I said, trying to stay true to the build back in the day. I had one. It was mostly for Storm decks. I just needed that 1 extra damage meant a lot if you're wondering, like, what the hell is that doing in there? That's why. So we'll just go like this and hope we get something right. let me bring in one of these and yeah, I'll take out one Silhana. Let's go like that. Spicy, says Chimsky. So yeah, we've got the new Giga Drowse commercial probably coming out tonight, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, just a lot of fun. It's like sleeping medicine sort of thing. I was like, oh wow, that's perfect. Sometimes you just shameful miss, he says. Oh, that's fine. It happens to everybody. We will keep this. I always hate how impersonal I appear when I'm playing on a stream because, like I said, if I type anything, my cameras go off and hotkeys and editing and stuff go crazy. So I've got to keep it to my mouse clicks and my hotkeys just for this outing. So apologies to any opponent, future, past, present. I'm not ignoring you. Let's make the screen real estate less guilty. We'll go like that. Hey, isn't that nice? Okay. I really want to see some Gather Courage. Hey, all right. Man, sometimes decks just like you, right? This is like when I played yesterday. You know, all that weirdness in this and stuff, and it still just wins a lot. And I think a lot of that's just, I played thousands of games with this exact 75. Like I said, it was like it might have been even more. I know it was a 9-round. It might have been even a 10-round tourney. It was just, and those Sundays were long. These Sundays go like 7 rounds. Those went 9 or 10. To win one of those, it was just like, oh my God, so crazy. Loved it. All right. I'm actually going to cast one of these first in this scenario. I know it looks like a misplay, but when you're playing with Gather Courage, you really want to do that, you know, so I can still attack here. Have defensive backup, not have to pay the mana for it. If you're looking at this, Convoke, +2/+2. Quite the staple back in the day. I'll play this, and hopefully this gets through. What do we got here? Just a traditional counterspell? All right. Hey, that's cool. What are you going to do? Here we go. So a little disfigured tricks and stuff like that. Outside of Fire Blast and up, can't do too much with the Gather Courage in hand. What do we have here? Spiketail Hatchling. Well, good news for us, we're a little flooded. Cool. Well, that's a priority, right? Let's do this. I'm going to see where his loyalties lie. I'm going to cast Silhana right after this. Yes. Yield. Okay. Of course, you might want to sacrifice it because we're playing Silhana, right? Let's do this instead. Sure. Come on over for 6. He's like, what year is this? Sees the spider. Sees 3 mana. Not a bad choice. Save a Fire Blast of the Green Persuasion. Nice choice. All right. I need some more coffee. So today's commercial breaks, we've got superheroes courtesy of the Conan O'Brien show from long ago. He has some, oh man. See, if I had Gather Courage, I could at least save one of these. Darn it. Ugh. Oh well. Now I'm probably going to walk right into a counterspell here. And then after that, we've got Commune with the Gods, a little skip from the Upright Citizens Brigade. And to close out our show is just an old school MTG commercial. I don't care as much as if this is countered. Okay. So Hana, I kind of want to wait for an opening where I know it's going to stick. Especially with Hidden Spider out, she's probably going to go all the way and be our nail in the coffin if we get there. We'll see. Oh, I'm not even keeping score. We beat Burn. Win, loss, win. This is Demir. Win, question mark. All right. I don't think Mutagenic was even printed. It might have been. So we got 3. Here we go. I'll try to save this dude by tapping this. At least cost him another card. I have to get to... That's one thing I don't know too much about Magic. I don't have a visualized timeline of like the expansion sets, but I don't believe that was available. So yeah, this is a flashback show after all, but hey, Gather Courage usually at least keeps your creature alive, acts as a cheap Apostle's Blessing that can really put your dude on steroids sometimes, so that's cool. And we've got another out in this, but it's not going to help because he's got 4 down right now. Let's attack here. Maybe draw out some sort of removal. Where's your Mole Drifter, sir? Let's instigate it with this. Huzzah! Hey, well, we already saw Echoing Decay. Let's just keep that Groundswell back. I'll equip the Bonesplitter later. It might have been just right around or right before that time, right afterwards. I think it was in the fall, and this was like that big tournament happened in like July or August, if memory serves. It's late summer. Haha, look at you guys. Thank you, man. All right. So we can flat up kill that if we draw a Quirion Ranger or another forest. I mean, that's a 6/6. I guess we could do that. Kill the dude. What 1 card do they have, right? Tough scenario. He's only got the 1 dude. Let's attack. He's got a block. I'm just going to have to hard cast both of these. It's a bad way to get to 4 damage, but it's going to keep our dude alive, so I'm just going to do this. Then I'll do this. We've only got 4 attacks if that doesn't go down, so 1 card in their hand. Maybe it's a Mole Drifter. I'll get a big old fat 3/6 out of it. That's a pretty good deal. 1 mana for a 3/5, sorry. Would have lost that bet. I thought it was a 3/6. There's my optimism coming through again. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about being optimistic. No, I'm not. It's a great way to live. Everything's up in my world, baby. Woo! All right. Tong Ting. I don't think I've ever seen this moniker across from me before. I do love these snow-covered swamps. Those are gorgeous. Islands are all right. For the most part, all of them are upgrades except the forest. Forest is looks pretty bad. So if we put this on green, it gets indestructible, which isn't that great against a deck that does minus damage. That's why I'm going to aim this right at Silhana. Get her out of shrivel range, maybe. I'd much rather have this against a Wild Mongrel, but damage is damage. We're going to come in for 5 on a 2-turn clock after this turn. We'll see how this goes. Man, I want some more coffee. I have been overdoing it so hardcore. I know I already overdo my coffee intake. More and more research. Every other week something comes out. All-cause mortality going down. Last week there was whether you have black tea or coffee or even like dark chocolate, as long as you don't have a bunch of artificial crap thrown in there. Just the benefits are just getting obscene now. It's across the board, and fix that. Accept this on Tuesdays. It's nuts. All right, let's put this on here. I think we got enough here to just race home. We'll rock here. Anything else gets in our way, we'll just zap it. Spiketail Hatchling. Very interesting, except for the white borders. Don't like that at all. Seen a lot of new hexproof lists making the rounds. Losing the Methodical / Skyfisher tech. I like that play, especially without Astrolabe there. I think it's a little diminishing returns now compared to a Silhana when you can just kind of go all in with that. Let's go. And every once in a while, I'll be playing just a little tournament room, having a good time. Similar to what we're doing now. And I'll run into the old Is It Blitz with Kiln Fiend, and which I do know that came out right after 2011 because I wrote an article on, I wrote an article when Kiln Fiend came out, and I remember calling it a scalding slap of chaos, and I just went way over the top with my analogies and craziness, and I had one called I think it was called the Burning Kiln, and it was pretty much a burn deck with Kiln Fiend in it, but Kiln Fiend was new. There was no Cyclops, only we Dragonauts up until then, and this allowed you to go in that one color direction, and there wasn't as much removal as there is now and such. So anyway, guys, enjoy the superhero. I'm going to get some coffee. I suggest you do the same. We'll live longer on this blue ball together. See you in a few. Boop.
First up, from Bogota, Colombia, He fights crime all day and all night and somehow never gets tired. It's Captain South America. Give him a hand. Up next, he's an incredibly even-tempered guy who flies into fits of rage whenever he's assembling IKEA furniture. It's the Swedish Hulk.
Hulk smashing!
Our next superhero is from the Middle East, and her power is her incredible amount of freedom in a very closed society. She has the ability to drive a car all by herself without a male chaperone. It's the Saudi Black Widow. Look at that. She's got a valid driver's license. That's hard to do. Next, with Greece on the brink of bankruptcy, they need a hero now more than ever. It's the Greek god whose power is the ability to make all money worthless. Say hello to not doing so well, Zeus.
Nettles, they're the worst. Itching, stinging, nefarious nature nastiness. Like Vastwood vines, they constantly irritate your skin. Once infected, you'll see them everywhere. But now, the Sentinel has you covered. A healing, Simic lotion for skin and hands. Hands that feel, hands that hold, create, and remember. Sentinel's hand cream, the Sentinel for your skin.
And we're back. All right, let's do this. Yeah, let's do here. We got 1-1-1. We got a way to get in. We got a way to boost. We got a way to protect. We'll keep this. Not the optimal draw, but hey, we're talking Timewarp Stompy here. 2010, 2011-ish, baby. So let's do this. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Attack. Come on now, let's go. I miss when cards look like this, especially green ones. Artists got a little bit more credit, a little more prominent on the name there. The border really kind of made the art pop a little bit more. I don't know. I'm an old softie when it comes to art. Has anybody seen the new Ford Ferrari movie? I'm going to see that later if you didn't catch the top of the show. Be neat if I listen to this in like 5 or 10 years. Be like, what? Oh my God, that was way back when that was out? Very seer. Very cool card. Oh, 2011, yep. Oh, well, then it might have been out. That's interesting. Let's not wait too long or he might block. Attack. What's the deal? Okay. That blows. Boink. We don't get in our damage, but with Rancor and Bonesplitter, we might be able to keep him alive. I have a feeling if I would have attacked right away, probably would have got in. Yeah, I like Christian Bale quite a bit too. He gets a little over the top with his voices sometimes. And Batman, I think he overdid it a little bit with that whole Nick Nolte gruffiness. It was almost distracting sometimes. I was like, dude, we get it. You're trying to be a badass. It's like, come on. Loved him in American Psycho. That was crazy. Well, I don't really care about Bonesplitter that much. This one I do care about getting through. Let's put this out while we got... Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Shiraz. That'd be cool if somebody, I'm sure somebody has by now, come up with like a timeline of all the expansions. And hopefully there's a little wording of, because, most expansions I know by heart, but man, I bet there's quite a few where I'm just like, I don't know what the hell that means. So instead of a Vapor Snag or Snap, got this. And I remember Pit-Skulk loving this card so much. It always baffles me when I only see like 2 or 3. And it makes sense now with all the 2/2s and the new tech with Grizzly Swipe and stuff like that. But Savage Swipe. But back in the day, this is like the only way to get around Spire Golem. Oh, come on now. Let's get moving here. We really don't have an option. So I'm just going to keep swinging here. I don't want to walk right into a macabre. I mean, a macabre. I say fairy, and that's where my brain goes, right? Spellstutter Sprite. Remember our Spellstutter Speech Centers in the end of one of our commercials. That was just brought to you by, what was that? The car ad? Benzer's Vehicles, I think it was. All right, there's that. Another seer shows up. Wine. If you're anything like me, Shiraz, you like it nice and dark red, am I right? We're so similar on most other things and authors and such. Yeah, I've never been too into when I do drink. There's a good beer around. I don't mind it, but man, for the most part. This is frustrating. I really want to drop Shinen of Life's Roar here. Obviously, it'd be kind of cool to swing with Groundswell here, but we've got an opening against a Fey deck, so. Half a glass of wine? That doesn't even count as having wine. Wink, wink. Here we go. Now you will see the full power of the Shinen Station. All right. Woo! We got Gathered Courage back up, baby. Everything is strong and outside of Piracy Charm. Yeah, but one thing I do like in all of my libations of the Alcoholic Persuasion is the inability. I like vampiric beverages, stuff that you can't see the sun through. If the sun's setting and you hold it up and you can see anything, it's like nope. So I like really, really dark beers and really, really dark wines and ports and ales, things like that. I've had a few, not that I've never had the other, and I've had some that are actually very good, but for the most part. All right, I really want a Quirion Ranger here so that I can untap that ninja and make it block. Tap Gather Courage in response and just take out the ninja. One swipe, baby. But as much as I sound like alcoholic, but as much as I used to drink, like just on the weekend, a lot of times I'd sit down with Magic. Like I said, it's been months now, and I'm surprised how little I miss it. I haven't been on a scale in months, but I know I'm down about 20 from where I was, so that's good times. All right, we're going to cast this just so we can tap Gather Courage, kill the ninja, or at least discard something and do that. This way he's got to kill the seer. We'll see if he's an illegal blocker too. But I'll say this, boy, when it's nice and stormy and raining, kids and wife are out of town, that's when I always feel like a really nice glass of port and just sit there and play some Magic, or not even so much play. I like to really brew while I'm brewing, if you get my drift. That's always just a neat time. Problem with any kind of alcohols, though, it's always that first moderation of like when you should stop is always the first thing that goes out of your brain when you're enjoying yourself a little too much. You're like, what a Modest Mouse has a great lyric. It says, "Have 21 one mores." So have 21 one mores. There are 4 cards here. I mean, we got him dead next turn. He's going to draw a card. That's fine. I'm not going to lose all these things. I mean, I could Gather Courage, then I can't block anyway. Let's go. That's fine. I'm not save hungry. Is that a word? Save your creature to the point of losing the game. There's some really good... Hey, we're going to kill the ninja anyway. Look at this. All right. Well, I think the ninja or the Sentinel first is the play here. Pre-combat. Only attack. He's got a block. I'm actually going to cast Groundswell here. Gather Courage is such a tricky little card. I like to catch people off with it, so that would be 5 if I came in with that. It's all right. I think we got him. Anyway, there's too much meat out here, and anything he casts now, unless he hard casts a ninja, Shinen's just going to eat it up, so this is probably going to eat the wrath of any sort of a red removal spells here. This is UR Delver. One Punch Maki. Let's see what he's got. Well, that's interesting. So keep in mind, if this had Bloodthirst, I could save it right now. I mean, he's probably got a spell stutter waiting to grab that Rancor. And if he does, that's cool. We just attack with Shinen and he has to block and we kill it. Bolas. And even here, we make them, even if we don't have boosts, you see, this lives through so many of these 1/3 creatures that are in the game. So I'm really thinking, I know it's not a 2/2, but if I was to play Stompy, I might try to find room for 1 or 2 of these main combo side. I don't know if I'd go a 2-3 split or 2-1 split like I did back in the day, but different metagame back then. But it's holding up pretty good here. We haven't lost yet. All right, we have that. He's obviously got a counter coming. We want this to hit. He has to block here. Honestly, I think the play is the Ledgewalker. Pre-combat. Force him to use a hard counter. And even here, if he counters this, that's fine. So this is a neat trick I used to do. Gather Courage is such a cool card with Nettle Sentinel. So you cast it now. You get to untap. You get a free attack. He's got a block. Kaboom. So hopefully somebody out there that likes the latest iteration of Stompy, might be kind of scratching their head going, oh, hey, man, that's pretty cool little, or not, never know. Maybe some new iteration will come of it. That's why we go back in time about maybe once a year. The official Timewarp show. I don't know. Tell you the truth, sometimes you're like, hey, man, I don't have a new idea every week. So I just want to keep things fresh, keep things moving. Up against it, no creatures. 2 coming at you. Some weird tricks you haven't seen since 2011. All right. I think you'd take the other thing out, but okay. Well, I like this because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this because I don't care if he's got a spell stutter because it's going to die. Come on, spell stutter. Come on. Second. Come on. Come out and play. We know you got it. No, there isn't, Chimsky, but if you got one, go for it, man. I got 2 more rounds after this. Like I said, then I'm going to start editing the new Giga Drowse commercial, which is a sleep aid, and we'll go from there. Well, I could go for the kill here, but I'm not. I'm anticipating some sort of bounce. Oh, that reminds me, if anybody got a email about that, make sure to change your magic password. There was some security break over last week and such, so they said it, probably nothing, but always good to be safe, or just add a few characters onto your existing one and make a note to yourself. That's one thing I get really, really tired of. I'm just going to bring this out. Is he being that patient with a spell stutter? He is. All right. He is waiting for that Rancor to hit. Okay. Darn it. If Dex could talk, this one would be like, what? How come Delver has access to red now? What is this, 2020? Why, yes, in fact, it almost is. All right, you selfish ninja. Let's go. Good news for us, we've got Ledgewalker. Bad news for us, they've got flyers. I was trying to find one of my old, what was it? UR Landfall deck. It used the recover mechanic, I think it was. That was pretty cool. I don't want to play Bonesplitter because I want them to think I've got a creature. They know we're already holding Rancor, so I'm having a magic PTSD right now. I'm remembering sometimes playing Stompy and having this little, you feel it slipping away. It's like, no. 3 cards in their hand. We know what one of them is. Now we won't know what 2 of them are. And I had the most frustrating work this week. Week at work. However you say that. Loving the job. Everything's great, but it was like there was very little creativity doing this week, and it was just redo this. And so it was like, if you don't edit, it was like building a house starting with the roof in the end. As I looked at yesterday, Friday, and I looked back at my work week, and I'm like, I could have, like, honestly not come into work for the week. I mean, it was that pronounced and been fine. It's crazy. This is what we needed. I'm going to throw this on here. They know we've got Rancor. I'm going to have to save it if I, 3 lightning bolts and a Skreds in the yard. But they are drawing a lot of cards and they're halfway through their deck. That couldn't have helped. Terramorphic Expanse. Old school. Named Chimsky. You're a young one. You started then? I think I was around... Oh, yeah, there's no saving the Wild Mongrel from that. All right, he's dead. That is one cooked mongrel. He's definitely of the black color after getting roasted that hard. There's just some carbon and soot left behind with the mongrel's DNA there. I'm thinking mine was around 05, maybe even 04. I'm not sure. I had MTGO account since literally the very first day it became available. It helped me so much, and it was so different back then, but just seeing that they used to have transparent arrows way back, like the very first couple iterations of it, and it helped me so much understand the stack and such. All right, we're going to scoop here. We needed a creature that turn, and it needed to cost 2, and we needed backup, which we don't have that, so we'll concede that one. That was game 1. Boy, that went a while, didn't it? Was that game 1 or 2? It has to be game 1 because I didn't bring in Hidden Spiders. Hidden Spider. Shinen. Very good cards. Sandstorm? Huh? What is this? We'll get rid of a Rootwalla or 2. We're definitely going to get rid of our 1 rogue elephant, aptly named, and a Bonesplitter. Let's rock like this. Hope for the best. This isn't going to do too much. Thermokarst, nope. I know they only run 2, but I'm not too worried about that. We've got Vines. I'd really have liked to go back in time and tell myself to play 4 Vines, but I was, after all, looking for ways to do something with extra mana. That's why the Mongrel. That's why the Groundswells. That's why the Shinen. Don't forget the channel ability. The Shinens are not created equally. Most of the other ones suck. This one's pretty damn good. That channel ability is pretty badass. All creatures able to block target creature do so. Woo! Okay, here we are. Got our nice big fat 3/5 body. I remember just about a year ago looking at this list going, oh man, why didn't I think to use scattershot archers? But back then, hitting spiders just made more sense. All right. Well, boy, this is a weird hand, isn't it? They've got flares. We've got flood. I'm going to mulligan this. Much better hand. One thing I really like playing Stompy and aggro lists is scenarios like this when you only need 1 or 2 lands and you take a aggressive mulligan and you're like, okay, well, I'll get rid of my flood. It's like that's a nice ability to have, right? Let's start hitting. I'll get an old list and I'll play our host. Oh, thank you, Nimchimsky. That'd be cool. Just make sure to lose. That's all I ask. Wink. So far, we haven't dropped a game, but we just dropped that one in the middle one of the burn matchup. But overall, I always get that wrong. The matches, we haven't dropped a match. Game, yes. A little bit too many tricks last game. Bonesplitter, Rancor is just staring at us in our hand. That kind of sucked. Well, because of spell stutter sprites, I'm going to throw a Rancor on this now. I want to make that just pay off. If he's got Augur Bolus, that sort of thing. Not likely, but so I'm going to save my turn or 2 mana play spells next turn, so to at least force a hard counter against a sprite. Turn this dude on. If you disagree with that, you're wrong. And I'll bring this back. Two more to go, folks. We got 5 on the stack here. Oh, this feels pretty good. Let's bring out a hound. I'm just gonna keep my mana in my hands, baby. Keep that hound alive. Oftentimes don't need more than 1 land. Obviously, you're playing the Thermokarst or the Shield in this particular 75. You want to keep at least 2 out, but keep them out of lightning bolt range. And Skred for the time being. Okay. Augur shows up. What's it going to show us? Let's see. Nothing. A whole lot of nope. So we'll run to our Commune with the Gods commercial skit after this. Then we'll be back to play the last 2 rounds. And we will call it a day for this week. And in the meantime, the next time I see you all, the Gigadrowse commercial will be, I think, number 27 in our list. Be pretty cool. Let's discard this. Sure. And we'll discard this. I got plenty of cards. I got a Quirion Ranger out. Konabaru. Alrighty. So, let's do this. Play this. Play this. Hit this. It does have trample after all, and we have to do it now because we have the land for it. Attack! This allows us to attack with everything. Yeah, it was surprising for me. I didn't spend too much time looking for the old list, but it was surprisingly hard to do. That's 9. Okay. Kill that. And here we go. Upkeep. I missed the Mongrel. That's such a great little card. Odyssey. Was it Odyssey? Mirari? I think it was Odyssey, yeah. A Mirari symbol. One of the most standout symbols. A lot of people think it's a ring. Looks like a ring with just too fat of a crystal on top or something, but oh, I just love it. Man, that is like cheating. The Fairy Seer. Oof. Okay, here we are, here we are. Oh, is it their last one, Kenwaku? That is too bad. That was a good little podcast. I think podcasts, that's why I get a lot of, well, that's a lie. I don't get a lot of people. I've had like 7 be like, when's your next Walking with Pauper thing? And I'm like, when it's time. I'm not going to, Pauperganda, that's another thing. I remember when we started this, they're like, oh, you should stream like 3 times a week to get all blankety blank blank. And it's just like, dude, ain't about that. It's about the quality. It's about wanting to do it, keeping the passion up and stuff like that. So I actually commend if they're just taking a time off. That's great, whatnot. But yeah, I spoke to somebody and I was just like, you got to be really careful of your show not turning into a reading festival, right? Or it's like if we're discussing this deck on a podcast and you're like, oh, and Quirion Ranger says return, and it's like, you just, so many people, they're like, it's like set reviews after a while. And, I don't think anybody's immune to it. Let's throw this on here because it can survive. And so I hadn't heard that. So do you know for sure, Kenwaku, if that's the deal? Hopefully they're just taking a break or something until warrants it. But yeah, when it just turns into like challenge reviews. Challenge reviews have kind of become what set reviews were. It's like, we get it. All right, did they find the burn spell? Let's see. Hard to keep a Wild Mongrel down, baby, especially with a Rancor behind it. So yeah, the more I think about it, I think that my little Walking with Pauper or whatever the hell I called it, it'll probably be like only 1 or 2 of those a year. It's like when there's something really big on my mind and I got to think out loud. I'm not going to sit there and read cards to people or tell you what my opinions are on the new set, because that is just the number of stars in the skies. There's that many articles about those things. So it is just done to death. All right. I'm just going to attack with both here. Let's go. Yeah, their first, what was it? 3 or 4 were just awesome. I really liked their formula was really superior too when they had everybody and they'd bring in an expert and they'd talk about the deck and they'd kind of have and there wasn't any favoritism. I really liked that about Pop It Like It's Hot, because the first 3 or 4 episodes, it was just like, so-and-so would say something and you could almost feel like the room like should agree with that. And then somebody would say like, well, no, I found it completely opposite. And I just thought it was a really healthy, nobody was afraid of hurting feelings and any crap like that. It was nice. All right. Game 3, here we go. Let's see if we can keep our winning ways up. You got quiet after that, Kenwaku. Like I said, I hate to admit it, but I started listening to it, and it the last 1 or 2, I kind of had that same sort of notion where it just kind of turned into a challenge review, so I didn't hear the end of it. So apologies to them for not finishing the podcast. I do that with a lot of podcasts. That's the only Magic one I listen to anymore. All right, we got a hidden spider right out of the gates, baby. Woo! We'll keep this. Good times. That's like a must counter. Well, Skred doesn't make it all that mean anymore, but it's a lot harder to deal with than a Scattershot Archer is, that's for sure. Okay. Well, do we do that or do we do that? You know, with Quirion Ranger here, I'm actually going to... Let me throw this out first. I know, I'm lying. Anybody needs a podcast idea, I think it'd be kind of cool to really, no pun intended, but delve into each color, like the history, maybe like standard deck types, and maybe just, and have a finite, 10 shows or whatever, but make it to where it's just constantly listenable. So where you go back and the replayability factor has got to be off the chart. Really take your time. Go over the top. Don't just read cards all day long. Assume your audience is, knows what they're talking about. If it's a weird card, sure. Remind people what it does and stuff. But more of the strategies involved and such, I think that would go a long way. All right, well, we have this. He's allowing us to drop a land. Let's do it here. Attack. Maybe we'll eat a lightning bolt and save our dude for free. That'd be kind of cool. No? Okay, well then we'll just do this. Always yes, always you. Chat, where'd you go? It's been minutes. Somebody write something. Wondering if I dropped my feed, even though I'm hardwired in. Let's see if we get met with a roast here. Looking for this, isn't it? Oh, Bloody Thug. Hey, thanks for chiming in. I'm here. Ooh, look at that patience. Waiting for my groundswell to go mist. Darn it. All right. You go ahead. I guess Augur of Bolus is probably the best play here, given we have a hidden spider out. Bloody Thug, nice to hear from you. Thank you for chiming in. Nice to see a new moniker show up. Where are you from? Are you a fan of Blood Pet with that name? Preordain, probably one of the best spells in Pauper. Definitely up for debate. I'm liking this. We've got protection. We've got we got to hit him way more turns. Cali, SoCal. Hey, me too. Very cool. Bring this out. I'm going to keep lands in our hand for our Wild Mongrel that will show up, and for Groundswell. Don't need more than 2 out. 1's fine too. That's why you see so much flood in this old 2011 list, but hey, it hasn't lost yet. Of course, a lot of that's not so much the exact 75 as it is to just the nature of Stompy. It's like, problem, immediately, oops, you stumbled a little bit, you're dead. Everybody's been there on both sides of it, probably. That'd be pretty funny. Play this tomorrow. Challenge, be like, oh, here's my 2010 list. Suck on this. So this is fun because now we don't have to really worry about running into a spell stutter sprite. I'll just play this. I think this is the deck that got me in the habit of casting creatures first because of Gather Courage and stuff, and it just kind of stuck after that. Plus the laziness. Back then I used to hit F6 a lot. Just be like, okay, I'm done. Here we go. All right. Well, Electrickery just kills us. But I'm going to take a chance here and just try to get in here. Cancel that. That was a bad play if I let that go. He might have gut shot. So I'll put it on something that'll go. There's at least 10 cards over $5 in Pauper still. Are there? I know Thorn of the Black Rose, last time I looked, was like the highest. I think it was at 8. I didn't know there were 10, though. And what was the deal? Reverent Silence? That has to be another format wanting that card. Never see that in any lists, and that was like around that. That was like $5 or $6. I was like, dude, I've got like 10 of those. I think. I know I have at least 4. Anything that says rather than or instead of or all that stuff way back. Anytime anything like that's printed, I'm like, okay, somebody's going to break that. Might not be now, but soon they will. Metamorphosis, Black Bordered Tron Lands, Lotus Petal. Oh, Paralyze. Man, I got to sell some cards. I got extras of all of those, especially the Tron lands. I know in paper, a lot of people like the white ones. Ugh. Don't get me started, right, guys? All right. Hidden Spider doing some work, I think. Might have just a bunch of Fae, and he's trying to build up to the Skred thing so it doesn't matter. But hey, we just got this, and we got this, so we can keep this into just crazy realm of like 311. Well, it would be more like 911. And let's attack. We're not doing too much here. Okay. I'm waiting for the mongrel. Sounds like a bad movie. Maybe with Meryl Streep or one of those slow moving movies, right? Okay, we get a huge old flyer out of it. He's probably got a Skred and company in charge here. All right, so we probably have something dying here. Oh, he's probably got a swirling sandstorm, right? Yep. Okay, so that does 5 damage, so we can save 2 things here. We'll save this. And then we'll save this. And we lose a ranger. What? I thought we... Oh, that's because it was a 5/5. I'm a dumbass. I deserve that. Alright. No biggie. Our dude's alive. He's alive! Come on, Rancor. Yeah. Well, if we lose this one, I know I lost it, not the deck. And there's a nice little kick in the crotch screw up FU with the forest being the F in that sentence. Well, we are the aggro here. Let's go. He knows we got a forest. We just played it. There's no worry about this. A 3/5 for 1 mana. That's so crazy. Too little coffee. Good call on that Chimsky. Get me an IV. Stat. I've got this, my little studio in here. I've got some Naruto figures, and I've got, oops, well, it looks like we might not win this one now. I know they're at 6, but I'm going to fistful of nothing. I've got some Halloween decor all over the place. You'd think it was early October whenever you go into my edit studio. But no. Okay. I'll do this and we'll keep the mystery alive. As long as there's no chittering rats across from me, I'm fine holding on the lands. Come on, mongrel. Where are you at? Let's keep it alive. Let's try that. It won't be a day until I can keep a mongrel alive through a vicious Skred. Oh, where's our gather courage now? We're not gathering anything but more forests. Blech. Looks like we're going to lose. Am I getting the pen ready to write an L? I am, even though we're going to be at 16 here. This is feeling far from winnable. This is pretty intimidating. Less now. Let's see what he's going to share with us. Or her. Black bordered Kumbaji witches. Yeah, I'll give away those white ones. I've actually given away quite a few of those. Well, that's frustrating. They reveal nothing. Maybe they have a land too. Yeah, Obulete. Yes, yes. Come around a little bit to that when you play a true mono black list and it really leans on Gary at the 4 spot or 4 of them. I could see, but I'm telling you, man, that gingerbread cookie almost belongs in every list. All right, what are the odds of this not getting countered? It's probably... Oh, wow, look at that. Okay. I'm going to play the land just in case he's got some lightning bolt here. I can at least keep it alive. Because without the land, Groundswell just makes it an even kill. Okay, there's only 1 lightning bolt in their yard after all. King of Deduction here. That's what the D in Deluxeicoff stands for, right? I wish. Mostly resembles Dope from Homer Simpson when I untap or miss something. Okay. Flooded Stompy's the way to be. Dun, 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 and then we'll see. Let's see if we're free and clear first before I lose it. At least give me a spell out of my spell. Yeah, Ristic Study. I'm trying to make that. I was talking earlier about a disruptive student build. There's 8 cards that fall in that category, and then we just saw a Spiketail Drake style thing, and some Force Spikes, and bounce some lands and play Ristic Study to refill everything. I've tried to make that deck for about 10 years now, since I've played this deck. Okay, I think we're losing this one. That's 3 a turn. We have no creature, and we're looking at a forest. It's a beautiful one. Thank you, John Avon. Frustration Nation. You're just joining us, or you're going scratching your head saying, what the hell is this? Seeing cards like Gather Courage. We're playing my list from 2011 on our little Timewarp Stompy show. I think the takeaway, if we stop now, is Shinen of Life's Roar is still nuts. Gather Courage is definitely worth a look. But cards like Rogue Elephant and, we'll scoop here. All right, so there's our first game down. We beat Burn, Demir, and we lost a close one to UR. But again, see that get flooded. I remember 17's the number, but it's amazing how often that happens. Hey guys, we're going to watch some Commune with the Gods. We'll be back right after this.
Oh, yes, you, the lad with the arm, please.
Do you think the Bible is particularly relevant to this generation?
Absolutely. More importantly, it's relevant to me and what I'm doing. Every day I think to myself, old chap, God was talking to you.
Yes, most certainly I didn't hear a word that was just said, because I only enjoy things that are about me. Like, of course, the Bible.
Are you saying the Bible was written about you?
Don't be ridiculous.
Yes, quite ludicrous. I wasn't listening, but I do know that I'm only in the Gospels, the book of Revelation, and of course Genesis. No, the Bible is not about me, but it is about me.
Ah, yes, me. Haven't heard a word you've said, but when I first wrote the Bible, this is good, I thought to myself, well, this silly thing will never sell.
You wrote the Bible?
Needless to say, I haven't been paying attention to any of this, but I was reminded of the time when I created the earth in 6 days and rested on the 7th.
So you're both God.
Both? I'm not quite sure
No one else up here, boys. There's only one person and
chosen your words rather haphazardly. A careful choice when you use words.
Examine that every day.
You make yourself some
you.
primitive baboon.
It were there that I lost me dear Silhana. She walked her last ledge, but folks, me loss is your gain. So it's in her memory Silhana's Window Walkers was created. The finest window scrubbing in all of Ravnica. Cleaning where only flyers dare to soar.
Be reminding them they won't be getting blocked by new high prices with us, John.
Don't be getting blocked by high prices. Silhana's Window Walkers.
Guild Pack member since 1906. And we're back. Here we are, keeping this. Woo, all right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Commune with the Gods. One of the funner Upright Citizens Brigade skits from way back in the day. Still holds up. Love that stuff. Wish they were around. Here we are. Enjoyed, what you talking about, Bloody Thug? Talking a libation, a brew, both. Let's bring this down to where it looks a little nicer. Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, like I said, we've got a new Gigadrowse commercial coming out. It's going to be pretty sweet. It's so fun when I can find the direct lifts. I mean, I have to change everything, the music, the narration, the graphics, but when a commercial looks like it could be in Magic lore, I'm just like, yes, because it saves me so much work. One of the hardest ones I cut was the Flame Tongue Hot Sauce one, because I think there was like, for every shot, it was a different full-on like video of like something I needed, and it was just very, or I had to build the tongue and crazy. Okay, here we are. We don't see any snow-covered shenanigans. Let's attack. I'll save the Groundswell for later technologies. Here we are. This always yield. I guess there's times I don't want to do that, but for right now, I want to do it. Let's go. Yeah, 4 Rootwalla is way too much. Old 2010 self. Maybe 2. Most. Maybe none, probably. Way better call. Where do you see the future of Pauper going in 10 or 20 years? Says Bloody Thug. Oh, man. I actually don't think there's going to be all that much change. I think, that's one thing this show might prove, right? This is 10 years ago. And here we are. Still playing pretty decently. We're 2-1 right now. Casual and such, but still, it's good times. I see things being unbanned in maybe the next 5 years. Not everything, but, there'll be a few things. Let's do this. Let's keep things honest here. You know what? I'm not going to do anything here. I smell a Sprite. Astrolabe might see a return. I'm actually a little perplexed that... Alrighty. Well, that gets returned. I'll do this now. We'll get our damage in. I'm a little surprised that... what am I trying to think here? Jeskai went away that quickly from the results. Really thought, some chromatic stars or just a little slower curve and they'd still keep the power. And maybe that's still a way to do it. I don't know, but very interesting. Here comes 7. Smash. We have played a land. We're good to go. Let's go. Banned it too early. Neither here nor there on the Astrolabe. I made my thoughts known, though. Anything with Flicker, Ephemerate, heck, even Snap, I just think, and the Mystic Sanctuary, I think as time goes on, those are going to be huge problems. I know Flicker has been, and it's just, I think it's just a, a lack of, knowledge and patience on a lot of players' parts. I think if robots all played Pauper, they would jump on those Flicker engines, and you would just see these crazy things. But right now, it's, most Magic players are very intelligent people. I think all of them are, but it's incredibly time consuming, and so I think it's underrepresented is my point. Yeah, Ephemerate, I'd still rather see even Ghostly Flicker before that. I'm talking too much here. Let's play the thing he knows we've got. See if we get a Sprite out of the deal. Sprite. Exclude. That's great. Good times. Well, now I'm glad I didn't pump it. We got plenty to do with our mana now, don't we? Let's do this. Don't want to see a Echoing Truth. Repeal, that's very underplayed. Great card. Draw a card, return a permanent or non-land permanent. But what I do hope, to answer your question, Bloody Thug, I personally hope that, what's coming back? Is it repeal? I personally hope that Retrace has a lot, like new sets come out with more Retrace stuff, because that's one mechanic that just so good. He's brought back his bounce spell. We've kind of diversified our threats here. If we pump this, obviously the Nettle Sentinel gets the boot in most scenarios. But ooh, well, that'll make the decision real easy. Down goes Rootwalla. Boy, take away the Sanctuary. This list looks pretty old school too. Okay, that's gone. We're one spell away from winning this. Come on, let's keep them honest. I think green really got the shaft and retrace mechanics. 4 is just way too much what it wants to do. Okay, here comes 6. Hopefully they don't have Echoing Truth, because that would really ruin our day. Talk about a card coming all the way back. This is such superior artwork. Usually I like the old artwork. This is just amazing compared to the old cartoon. Like, the old one looks like something off of a cereal box in the 80s. And believe me, I know all about cereal boxes in the 80s. Here we go. One more game after this. If you got an old school deck, it's not the prerequisite. If you want to just play, that's fine too, if you catch me at the right time. Like I said, we haven't played a tourney in quite some time, just because turning into a ticket sink with all the ghosting going on, and one of the drawbacks of having a wee bit of success on the streaming endeavor. But what you gonna do? All right, we're just gonna attack. If he's got any sort of bounce, though, and he does, we already know he's got the 1, so this is tough. Can't really enchant anything because they'll bounce it. Oh, he's doing us a favor and doing it now. All right. So in this scenario, Shinen would be good because we could force him to block 1, not the other. Isn't that kind of eerie? I keep calling the card and it shows up. Yeah, I was going to just blitz there, but all right. So I'm just going to write down Muck, mono blue control. Feels pretty old school. Spider'd be pretty good, but not too many. Maybe 2. I'm going to take out this with the bounce. We definitely don't want the old school rogue elephant. If you're just joining us, this is a list from 2011. Our little Timewarp shenanigans. I'm not a fan of too many Rootwallas here. There, we'll bring in all 3. Sit like that. Not too many creatures to warrant another Shinen. Not sure if I'm going to play in the challenge tomorrow or not. We'll see. Yuck. Whole lot of tricks. Not enough mana to do them. Booyah. We will mulligan this. That's an ugly hand. This is a gorgeous hand. Holy crap. What an amazing hand. We'll keep this. Have to throw something back? Sure. Done. Watch, they've got like all these arrows and bounce online, but I'm just going to try to keep it pure here. The Witching Well artwork. Very foreboding, isn't it? It'd be pretty trippy to come on to some midnight glade at night and just see that. I think I'd have to wad through the muck. That'd be a pretty interesting... Makes you wonder if the grounds follow, though, just because of the proximity to a well. I'm thinking too much. Let's just play. So, we just showed Nettle Sentinel hand cream to prevent your skin from feeling like you've been stung with nettles. Let's see if any more of our commercials show up, huh? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend that we're mana screwed. I'm going to attack with this. So I really want one of these to hit. I'll get our damage in. Then I'll say, I'll limp forward with this play, implying that we're stuck. No? Darn it. I was hoping that would work. Does this get the real counter? Hey, maybe he just doesn't have them. That's always a possibility. Okay, well, hey, that was fast. Off we go. I'm going to just create one in case anybody's out there wanting to join. That way I don't just jump into this guy's game. And we'll go from here. And then we've got a just some old school commercial coming up for the last one. Like I said, stay on the lookout. Today or tomorrow, we'll have the new Gigadrowse sleep medication commercial up. Be our new one. Woohoo! And we'll go from there. But yeah, it's just our little Timewarp show. About every 6 months or so, I might try to do one of these if I find an old list. The problem is my old PC had thousands of the old lists, and it kind of took a dump a long time ago. So I'll have to delve deep into the forgotten caves of Keldor to find more lists. And my old one, what was it, MTG Stats, isn't even a website anymore. I mean, the domain's still there, but it's just gone. So Hang the DJ's our opponent here as we go into our last little round of extravagance with Stompy from yesteryear. Wow, this thing can hit hard. Yeah, let's see how big this lizard can get. Depending on what we're up against, this could be lights out real quick. This is the kind of hand that can beat Infect. We'll keep this, as long as they don't have any removal, which is very rare anymore. It's one thing. Oh, and there's the culprit removal color. Boink! Curdape. Showing up, chilling out. Black border too. He looks so sweet, except for those red eyes. Alright, here we go. Hey, I really like this. That's gonna go a long way. We don't have many mutagenic tricks, but they don't know that. Boop. Rootwalla, Rootwalla. Gonna cast some cards and get taller. Another deck. Another idea. Zoo. It's never quite come true. Don't mean to rhyme there, but what are you going to do? It's very, all the cards are there. It's just nobody's figured out the 75. It looks like this guy's trying to. Come on, Plains, where you at? Woo! Oh boy. What do we do here? I'm not even willing to risk that. Gosh dang, triple Groundswell. That is intoxicating. He's got a red up. I'm just going to play this. Mongrel's interesting, but I want everything in my hand, and I don't have a way to really keep them healthy, so I'm just going to let these guys go. Hey, what change you talking about there, Bloody Thug? A little late to the party sometimes in the chat. Not only is there a slight delay, it's only about 5 or 10 seconds, but sometimes I just don't read right up to date fast enough, all that stuff. Okay, here we go, here we go. Boy, they hit their colors right. No help from Terramorphic Expanse. Woo! 3/3 Rioters. We've got 2 turns left, and that's if nothing else happens. The Rioters make me think they're on just a domain list, huh? Interesting. All right, well, we're going to have to start blocking soon, but that doesn't mean we can't have fun until then. Let's do this. Wonder if it's worth trading off, right? We'll just drop this. We'll have our, if we get a land, we're going to have a nice little alpha swing, but until then, we're just going to let our lizard get run over on a hot road. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, where you been, Bloody Thug? Yeah, no, it's been long enough now. Definitely, I don't even notice it anymore, but I have to say, I think my knee-jerk reaction was I like that other mulligan rule that we had for a while, but what you gonna do? Well, we just saw he purposely grabbed another forest. That's curious. I wonder if he's just playing this for the value. There's a lot of 3/3s in the format without having to hinder yourself that way. He's just on Naya. That's interesting. I'm not going to pump this ever, so I'm going to block here. Get rid of the big fatty. And stay in a little bit survivable life range. We'll see. Ooh, that's nice. Not enough people play with the freighter. I don't know what decks it fits in, though, but man, bringing out COP green or red, you're on RDW. That's some good times. All right, this is what we wanted to see. we're going to play this. Yep. Yeah. Let's, we'll just target this now. Pain Train. Ha! Booyah! Can we survive? Attack. Boom, pow, bing. Always yes, always yield. Boom, pow, bing. And out of the blue, it's 13 damage. Holy smokes, folks. What's going on? Oh, can never forget. Booyah! Yeah, on paper, I remember when those came out. I love Skyskiff, but as time has gone by, I am definitely... Oh, I've already used it. That's why. I've really respected the Renegade Freighter. That thing is... It's so hard to block that thing. Let's make him a little fearful here. Turning into an honest game. Look at this. I've just got to have Silhana live here. Okay. Groundswell is going to have something to say about that. Now, what does he return? Curious. Alright. Oh, I thought there'd be an Oblivion Ring with the mana that was generated there. Oh my god, you're the dude from Pauperganda. Burritos MTGA. Far from it, but thank you. We're just having a good time with an old Pauper list, but it's good to have you in the chat. Here we go. Demigod of Revenge. I love me some Deuce of Calamity. Oh boy. Can we survive this turn? Let's see. We're not getting out of this trap at all. So we're just going to let that come through because it has trample. And that will take us to 1. I think we'll be all right. Let us leaf, meaning we'll block here. Boop. We'll block here. Boop. We're going to take 7, and we're going to like it. So we've got the land drop. Oh, Skyfisher's tap. Never mind. Yeah, we got this, right? What am I missing? This is, that's 7. Boop. Nothing else has trample. Has it got gut shot in hand? That'll do it. Well said, Shiraz. Thank you for that. And they're probably scratching their head going, what are these? What's this terrible Stompy list? Well, this is the one that was the list back in the day. So we're having a little bit of a time warp show. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Let's attack. We've dropped our land. Going up against a pretty cool little zoo list. It's funny, we're having a time warp show, and all of our opponents, the last 3 rounds, are kind of playing a bit of a time warp decks. We've seen Muck, meaning mono blue control, and now we're seeing Zoo or Domain, or, well, I'll just call it Zood on my notes. Zoo and Domain, Zood. There, I have coined a phrase that will be remembered for all of about 30 seconds. Okay, we have this. Fog's going to be good. I love Moment's Peace, and I'm going to go back and kick myself in the face when I look at this list, because I'm like, I know Moment's Peace was a thing back then. Why wasn't I playing it? But I really think it had to do with Empty the Warrens, Gut Shot, all these things. Mana mattered. That's why this list also ran one of these dudes. And in fact, in this list, I'm going to keep this in because I can trade 3/3. So this is like the first game we're going to actually keep that dude in. As always, we're taking out some Rootwallas. We're going to bring in Shield of the Oversoul because on Mongrel, we can change it colors, make it indefensible and indestructible and flying. Who doesn't like flying dogs that change colors, right? Good times. Woohoo! Alrighty. Here we are. Didn't see many flyers. Don't need that. Fog's probably a pretty good idea. Let me bring in 2 of those. But for what? But for what? Rancor's good. I'll get rid of 1 Bonesplitter. 1 more. Oh, the Rootwallas can trade. I like them at 2. Shinen might cause a little bit of an alpha strike. So let's pretend the scenario that just happened. We got 5, 6 attackers, blockers, what have you. What's cool about this over provoke targets one thing. This allows for one-sided swings. So a Shinen Elias Roar against a creature build deck, even if you can't enchant it, giant growth it, whatever you want to call it, and kill everything and make a one-sided Wrath of God, it can at least be a one-sided fog. So I'm actually going to try to fit that in. Silhana's Wild Mongrel, and this all going to shine. I really think I'm going to lose all of my dudes there. I'm going to lose the elephant. We'll keep the theme alive. Rootwalla, I can pump to do it. Let's go. Woo! Spore Frog. Okay. Hey, we don't have bouncy screen today. Well, we've got the goods. We didn't see much removal, and because we have Gather Courage, I'm tempted to keep this. We're on the draw. Our mana's right. We've got Wads of Protection. I'm going to keep this. Honestly, if I was playing for money, I'd probably be all right on the fence, but I'd rather see more cards. Woo! Here we go. Beautiful forest. And if you're hiding out in chat, please chime in. We've had a lot of new friends and faces come forth. If you can't think of anything to say, well, type the letter B for Bonesplitter. I don't know. Just let us know you're there. Bloody Thug in the house. Thank you for that. And above that was Baratos MTGA. Very nice to have new blood. I can't put my finger on this list. Okay. Things are about to get interesting. All right, that is enough lands. I don't need any more lands. Cast. Here we go. A is for B for Bonesplitter. There you go. I know you meant to tog. Oh, I love Gather Courage so often. It should just be called Counter Target Lightning Bolt or Disfigure. But in the new Stompy list, you want things to die so that you can have the superior permanent counters in mutagenic. I'm not mutagenic. Howl from the Howl pack. Too many cards. Too much time. I could block here, but I'm going to wait till I've got the advantage. We'll feign. Maybe we can get a Quirion Ranger, untap it, and smash into it. We'll see. Whatever this is, we can probably kill it. Okay. Yay! So we'll throw Rancor on this. I'm going to cast... Hold on a minute here. Interesting. Do I just cast the Rancor here? I mean, I just cast it. I mean, the Gather Courage. He has to block. I want that thing to live. I cast the other Shinen. Let's do that. That way I can kill his thing. Then I'll have two Shinens out. He'll be a little nervous with seeing Gather Courage and kind of in the, what the hell is that camp? Here we go. Let's watch the illegal block happen. Oh, hey, he knows the card. Good for them. Or she. I always gotta remember that. Or she. Trample gets through. We hit for 2. We've got 2 must blocks. Outside of a double lightning bolt, taking out our ideas, I think we're in pretty good shape. Now, is this going to go get a forest again? This is curious. You'd think with a domain verbiage there that they'd be grabbing a swamp and such. Let's see. Is this another forest? It is. Huh. Can't get my mind around this list. Like, they're just playing Rioters for the 3/3 value. Nothing wrong with that. Just makes you wonder if they just maybe have one more fetchable in there. I don't know. Well, Skyfisher's as good as dead. Problem with 2 Shinens, I should only attack with 1 because I don't want him to be able to wiggle out of anything. Now I don't even have to worry about it. Woo! I'm really happy this is happening for a variety of reasons, but one of the main ones is it's just nice to showcase these older cards. They've just been forgotten. It's not that they're passed up or they're great cards. And maybe, you know what? Hey, there's Hexproof, there's Stompy. Maybe somebody's going to see this and be like, man, I got an idea for those. Let's try this. And before you know it, I got a new thing. Come on, Skyfisher. Where you gonna go? We'll do this to this. Bam! Coming over for quite a bit. Have a sit. This is legit. He's gonna go get another forest. What is going on here? Well, we can trade with his team, or he's still coming at us. Good for them. Well, if Hang the DJ, if you play this later as your opponent, next time keep up red, because this makes this play a little more scary. Or if you're just learning about Pauper and MTG, I don't know why you'd be here, but keep that in mind. If you've got the options. Maybe they got a fog. Who knows? Maybe it'll prove me wrong right here. Let's keep this alive. I think they have the option to block either. Now, what is this going to get? Is this going to get another forest? What in the hell is going on? Maybe you go fetch a swamp or an island and you at least trade. Strange. I can't put my finger on what's going on. Looks like we're going to go 4-1 on the day, but with this old school Stompy, only losing to UR Delver, which wasn't a thing back in the day. However, snow-covered lands were, fetch lands were, Skred was. So as much as you'd like to think things are built and done, remember that. Like, same with this list. We'll go over it here real quick before we head on out. This is my old school deck, 2010, 2011. It's up for argument. The big tournament I played, I think, was in 2011, though. And I hated Flood, so that's why I ran these. You can actually use these for the channel ability, but for the most part, a little bit heavier on the lean, and then Rogue Elephant and these and Groundswell, so it did something with the Flood. Keep in mind, though, Elephant Guide was a thing back then. Why wasn't I playing it? And I looked really hard. It just at the time didn't make too much sense. It was a lot more balance in the format and quicker games with gut shot and stuff. This is why we ran things like the Rogue Elephant against certain decks. You know, I needed side out bait and such like that. But what I mean is, like with the Delver list, you look at Kung Fu Trees bringing Skred to the equation, and all that stuff existed. So this is why we do these shows. There's a little time warp. Somebody might see this card and go, or they might see Gather Courage and go, wait a minute. I doubt they'll see this and go, huh? But you guys understand what I'm saying. You're gonna there's probably 4 or 5 tier 1 decks nobody's thought of, and that's what everybody's trying for, and that's what's great. That's what's neat. You brew, you do this, you come out. So try not to get stultified. Try not to keep your mind open. Look at the cards. Sit back with a glass of your favorite beverage and just ponder. You know, card intended. So anyway, guys, we'll see you next week. I have no idea what I'm going to be playing, what the show theme's going to be, etc. But I do know by then we will have our new Gigadrowse commercial out. It'll probably be within about 48 hours of me talking right now and pointing at my nose. Anyway, until then, guys, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, pauperganda@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time, y'all. Bloody Thug, thanks for joining us this time, and we'll see you all next time on Pauperganda. Adios.
Is there more to entertainment than 500-channel TV and zillion-dollar movies? Turning the sound up and your mind off? Is there still a place where fun involves thinking, imagining, doing? Some of us think so, and we find it in a game. Magic the Gathering. All you need to play is a brain, a deck, and a friend.
Deluxeicoff's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. Blows colored bubbles. Changes colors while you chew. Discard your old brand for something new.
Deluxeicoff's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. It's yummy.